He's now on the active roster, and it's 13-0. Oh, a fake punt on 4th and 5. What a play for Johnny Hekker to Sam Shields, down 13-0, Tom.
Great call by Coach Sean McVay because he realized that his team was in a dire situation. He had to have something happen right at that moment to change momentum.
That was on his own 31st minute, second quarter. Now Goff, Gurley, and you know he's hurting. And at that point, you know what? Better come out of there. Rams get a field goal, so still the Saints up 10, 13-3. Goff. Brandon Cooks, who once flew down the sidelines as a New Orleans Saints, 36 yards inside the 10. Now Gurley. Well, he can still do this. Now we got a game. It's 13-10.
Nothing wrong with him right there. Boom, gets in for the touchdown.
Third quarter, same score. Breeze, Taysom Hill, the Swiss Army knife of the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints back up by 10. So remember, they led 13-0, and they now lead 20-10. Goff, Josh Reynolds, he had a big game. Reynolds tries to wrap it into the end zone, but he's caught at the 1. And then, Goff, names you don't think of. Tyler Eleanor Higbee. It's a touchdown.
You know what, Boom? This shouldn't have been a touchdown. If that guy was paying attention, the linebacker looking in the backfield.
Eyes in the backfield.
Slip right out for 6.
So 2017, 3rd and 3, 16. The Rams in their own territory. And wait a minute, Goff, well, we're trying to see him running around, but the Rams called a timeout before the snap. Confusion, crazy. But this time, Goff says, once we have a play, we can do this. Now it's Everett. Maybe he told him, hey, the next play, why don't you do that?
Everett did a good job by trying to find a way to get open. He got open, run after catch. Goff found him on the rollout. Big play. 2nd
and 6, play action. Goff, Reynolds, 33 yards. Saints, where's your D? 3rd and goal from the 2. C.J. Anderson, the one-time Bronco, now Ram, fresh running back. Key, your buddy.
Yeah, he got not quite in there, but he ran hard for the most part.
You're not going to go for it? No. They're going to kick a field goal and make it 20. A lot of folks said, Sean McVay, really? But he knew what he was doing. Breeze, Ted Ginn.
Well, LaMarcus Joyner in defense right here is waiting on the ball rather than getting up to its highest point and either knocking it down or going through the receiver.
That's what you say, Tom. Knock it down.
Knock it down.
Buck 58 to go, Breeze. Now, this was an incomplete pass on 1st down. So it's a timeout, essentially, the Rams got that they didn't have. But no one will remember that because Breeze, Nickerobi Coleman, and there's no flag. Well, go ahead, fellas.
Yeah, he should have gotten a flag right there. Even he knew as a defensive back he was in the wrong. For whatever reason, the referee made a decision not to call at that point in time, which, in my opinion, hurt the Saints in this game.
Well, hurt them. They'll be talking about it. They do get a field goal and they have the lead. So can they stop the Rams? No. That's 3rd and 3. Goff to Robert Woods. 35-yard line within field goal range. Goff. 22 seconds on 3rd and 6. Incomplete. McVay goes, wait a minute. Whoa. I was giving you the play. It is loud. You couldn't hear? Oh, well. Well, guess what? We have Greg Zuerlein. And a 48-yard field goal is like an extra point. Although it's going to go, a dog leg left. He played a dog leg left, and he made the field goal, and we're tied at 23. 23-all, here's the flip. And the Saints win the toss. But Dante Fowler came over this year, midseason Jacksonville. Ball in air. John Johnson picks off the wobbler.
Big play by Fowler to get in the face of Drew Brees, keeping him in the pocket right there. Mikey Thomas didn't see the ball in the air, and it's an interception going the other way.
So now, here comes Goff. They need only a field goal. 3rd and 7 Rams at the 39. To Cooks, it's dropped. Now, really, you're going to make a 57-yard field goal? Greg the leg. Ndamukong Suh. Aaron Donald, they can't watch. But guess what? Bang! No draw on this. That's good from like 67. Yes. Longest playoff field goals, 58. That's a 57-yard field goal to put the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, into the Super Bowl. They win 26-23. They went once upon a time as the LA Rams a long time ago. Super Bowl 14, they had the lead in the fourth quarter against the Steelers. Vince Ferragamo, those great Steelers beat him. Now the Los Angeles Rams have a chance to do something that the St. Louis Rams did once upon a time in '99. That would be win a Super Bowl 26-23. But there's no way around it. The no call.
It was simple. They blew the call. They said not only was it interference, it was helmet to helmet. There were two calls. They couldn't believe it.
That's tough to swallow, right? I think plenty of times throughout the season, there's calls that go against you or go for you, or they miss or they didn't. But obviously in a situation like that, where it seemed like everybody in the world saw it, that's tough.
Obvious interference in the helmet to helmet, but it's done now. What's done is done. I don't know what else to say about it.
They should have came down and overturned it like they do on everything else. But it is what it is, man. We're gonna take this one on the chin and go home.
Referee, because I clearly don't know what he saw. Maybe he doesn't know what he saw. Maybe, the lights were too bright for him to see.
You're officiating, you got a job to do too. So you gotta do your job. So, it hurts. We invested a lot into this, so it hurts, but I don't think they really care.
I thought it was for a split second, but, the ref got up. When I got up, he said incomplete, so, I just was like, thank you.
You said for a split second you thought it was going to get called on you?
Yeah.
And why was that?
Because I didn't look back at the ball.
Uh-huh.
I didn't play the ball. If I would have played the ball, then it would have been a different story. But since I just went straight to him, and when I seen his hands go up and I hit him, I just heard the crowd go crazy, and I was like, oh, this is a flag. And then I got up, he said incomplete. I was like, oh.
So what do you say?
And then the ref said, low-key, it was a tip. It was tip. So I was just like, okay, cool.
Again, without bashing a so-said referee who's supposed to be elite at his job, I don't know, blame it on the government shutdown. I don't know. At some point, this is ridiculous.
We probably never get over it. The truth is, you always, some of these losses like this, but one like that, it's too bad.
Well, good job, Josina, in there getting that interview and all the other side. That's a tough one because, just to put you back in the game for a minute, so that would have been first down, and they could have bled the clock, obviously, all the way to 5 seconds left or whatever they wanted to do, and Lutz would have had a chance to kick a short field goal, and the game would have been over. That's what, if the call was made, would have happened, but it didn't.
It was the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Because, as you say, they were going to be able to kill the clock, kick a field goal, game is over. And I think that the reason that you see the Saints so upset is that this changes legacies. This is a trip to the Super Bowl for Drew Brees, for Sean Payton. They could add another Super Bowl to their legacy that they're not going to get a chance to do. And the DB didn't only not turn around, he didn't turn around. He ran through the receiver early. He hit him helmet to helmet. And if you go back to my era, he face guarded him as well. So there's 3 or 4 things that an official who is hired to do a job, just like those players are hired to do a job, missed completely. And again, he changed some history for all of these players. And I don't know what what you need to do to correct it. We already have a lot of replay. We spend a lot of time looking at plays again. Maybe you're going to have to investigate when you see something blatantly wrong. You've got to figure out a way to try to make it right.
The Saints ran that play about 3 or 4 times during the game, and they hit every single time. So I think that the Rams and N'Keal Roby realized the formation, the situation. He didn't play the ball, as he said. He went straight beeline, hits the guy in the head. That the collision alone, as we've seen many times, Boone, the collision alone gets the attention of the referee. Not only the back judge, the side judge, but the referee in general. Somebody would typically throw a flag because of the violence of the collision that we've seen right there. Now, the young man obviously got up off the ground. It wasn't one of those situations. But clearly, if you're watching that and you're the referee, you're told to look at the receiver, the defensive back in that point in time, and you missed it. you're looking directly at that, and you missed it. And like Tom said, it changes the whole thought process of a lot of guys' legacy.
And I'm just going to throw this out because it was brought up in our room today that, you know, in the CFL, and again, I'm just saying, you can challenge a pass interference, although that was under 2 minutes, so you could review it. And 42 of them were challenged or reviewed, and 20 were overturned.
Almost half.
I'm not suggesting the rule. I'm just saying it does happen north of the border. Just pointed. But now let's get to the Rams, because given what happened, okay, and we could talk about that forever. The Los Angeles Rams were down in a hostile situation stadium, 13-0, and looking in real trouble. They were down 20-10, and the Saints don't lose there. That being said, however it happened, they won the game, and they're going to the Super Bowl.
I love this game so much. I've been dreaming of this all my life. And for us to be able to be in this position, to make it to the Super Bowl, oh, man, so it's such a great feeling. Such a great feeling.
Feeling awesome. Just cloud nine. To come in here and get this done, we put all the work in throughout the season, and now to have one final shot to win it all, it means the world.
This team is special. You know what I'm saying? It's only right. This is exactly what we thought we'd be in.
It's more than special because the guys that's here, it's a brotherhood that you can't just put words to it. It's a feeling in there.
It feels good. The hard work that we put in from the start of camp, OTAs, all those different things, and it's a great situation to see it pay off. Just excited to be a champion, NFC champion, but we got one more thing to go take care of.
Oh my gosh, it still sounds surreal. I'm floating right now. I'm floating. It's a dream come true.
Well, the Rams, look, they got big-name players on really the defensive side of the ball, and their young coach and their young quarterback are going. But we thought of the four teams, maybe defensively of the four, they could be, if not standout by old terms, they would be of the four the chance to play the best defensive game. Do you think they did, Key?
I think they did today. If you look at the Rams' defense throughout the course of the year, they were kind of up and down. That unit wasn't intact altogether. You missed Peters at times. You missed Talib at times. Aaron Donald was in a little bit of a holdout situation. Sue was new. But when it counted most, they always stepped up. When you look at the defensive line, and you talk about Sue and Donald in particular, Sue became a monster these last couple games against the Dallas Cowboys and here against the New Orleans Saints. He's unblockable, TJ. They cannot block him. He makes the pressure. He closes the pocket. He does things that is crazy in terms of the defensive line. And then when you pair him with Aaron Donald, a guy who never quits, despite no matter what happens, he's always relentless, running to the football, causing havoc. 5.1 yards throughout the season on attempts per rush, people got, but not in this particular game. They held the New Orleans Saints to 1.7, 48 total yards. 48, bro. How you gonna win a football game rushing for 1.7?
It's a little more than an equipment man tripping over the trunk.
Over the trunk, falling over the trunk.
Defensively, by the way, the one play with Donald, it's like the play's over.
That's right. That's right.
The play's over.
Yeah. I think that offensively, look, they showed great resiliency today. That game started off 125 yards for the Saints to 5 yards for the Rams. And then it turned around 373 to 165 in favor of the Rams before the game was over. And certainly I want to give a lot of credit to Coach McVay, because he realized, just like Sean Payton realized the week before, we are in real trouble. What do we need to do? Now, when Sean Payton faked the punt, it was only a yard. When Coach McVay faked the punt, it was 4th and 5. But he realized he had to do something to turn the momentum for his football team. He did that, and Jared Goff really took over that football game without benefit of an outstanding run game. The runners did not do today what they have done for most of the season.
And isn't it interesting? We're going to go back to the so he kicks the field goal to tie it at 20. Had the Saints scored, I'd be, oh my goodness, we never got the ball back. But they don't, and it turns out to be. Now you thought it was right.
I thought it was the right call. I want to play some more football.
Head coach, hard job.
I wanted him to go for it and make him go 99.
I know you did.
But
you know what?
That's why he's the coach, and I'm here with you.
You know what? Guess where they're going? They're going to Atlanta.
Super Bowl.
I mean, they're going to the Super Bowl. We have